Then at last the path was clear. Unharmed the chariot could continue. A cry of joy the hero sounded, doubled was the joy at sight of the sun was now unveiled. Amidst the elation, Enki the alarm sounded. For the path to be fashioned, excessive waters were consumed. Waters to feed the chariot, fiery stones for the remaining journey were not sufficient. In the dark deepness of the sixth planet, they could see the sun's rays it was reflecting. There was water on Lamu. Ed was saving. Can you bring the chariot down upon us? Anzu, he was asking. Deftly Anzu the chariot towards Lamu directed. Reaching a celestial god around it, the chariot made circle. The planet's net was not great. Its pull is to handle easy, as he was saying. He was saying the gravity was weak. A sight to behold was Lamu, many-hued it was. Snow white was its cap, snow white were its sandals. Reddish hue was its middle. In the midst of the lakes and the rivers were a glitter. Deftly Anzu and the chariots made travel slower. By the lakeside it gently came down. Ea and Anzu, their eagle helmets donned. To the firm ground they stepped down. On command the heroes, that which water sucks, extended. The chariot bows with the lake's waters to fill. It sounds like a water pump. It says that which water sucks, extended. The chariot bows with the lake's waters to fill. While the chariot was getting its fill of waters, Ea and Anzu the whereabouts examined. With tester and sampler, all the matters they ascertained. The waters were good for drinking, the air was insufficient. All was in the chariot's annals recorded, the need for the detour described. With its figure replenished, the chariot soared up to the benevolent Lamu, farewell bidding. Beyond the seventh planet was making its circuit, Earth and its companion, the chariot, were inviting. In the commanding seat, Anzu was without words. Ea, too, was silent. Ahead was their destination, its golden Nibiru's fate for salvation or doom containing. The chariot must be slowed, or in Earth's thick atmosphere it shall perish, they declared. Around Earth's companion, the moon makes flowing circles, Ea to him suggested. They circled the moon. By the vanquishing Nibiru in the celestial battle, its prostate and starred was lying. Having the chariot thus slowed down towards the seventh planet, Anzu the chariot directed. Once, twice, the earth's globe he made the chariot circle. Ever closer the firm land he lowered it. Snow-hued was two-thirds of the planet. Dark-hued was its middle. They could see the ocean. They could see the firm land. The signal beacon from Alalu they were searching. Where an ocean touched dry land, where four rivers were swallowed by marshes, Alalu's signal was that beacon. Too heavy and too large a chariot is for the marshes, Anzu was declaring. The earth's pulling net too powerful for on dry land to ascend it is, Anzu to Ea announced. Splash down in the ocean waters, Ea and Anzu shouted. Around the planet, Anzu made one more circuit, as his chariot with much care toward the ocean edge he lowered. The chariot's lungs he filled with air, into the waters down it splashed, into the depth it was not sinking. From the speaker a voice was heard. To earth be welcome, Alalu was saying. By his these words the direction of his whereabouts were determined. Toward the place Anzu the chariot directed. Floating as a boat it was upon the waters moving. Soon the wide-ranging ocean narrowed, dry land on both sides as guardian appeared. On the left side brown-hued hills were rising, on the right mountains to heavens their heads raised. Toward the place of Alalu was a chariot moving, floating like a boat upon the waters it was. Ahead the dry land was covered with flooding. Marshes, the oceans, were replacing. Anzu to heroes commanded, uttered. The fish's suit to be put on, he ordered. A hatch of the chariot was then opened into the marshes. The heroes descended. throwing ropes to the chariot they attached with the ropes the chariot they were pulling. Allah's beam's words more powerful were becoming. Hurry, hurry, he was saying. At the end of the marshes a sight there was to behold. Gleaming in the sun rays was a chariot from the Biru. Allah's celestial boat it was. The heroes, their places quickened. Towards Allah's chariot they hurried. Impatient Ei donned his fistsuit. Within his chest his heart was like a drum beating. Into the marsh he jumped. Towards its edge hurried steps he directed. High with the marshes flooding, deeper was his bottom than he expected. He changed his gait swimming with both strokes forward. He advanced as dry land he was approaching. Green meadows he could see. Then his feet touched firm ground. He stood up and by walking he continued ahead. He could see Alalu standing with his hands with fingers waving. Coming out of the waters ashore, Ei stepped. On dark-hued earth he was standing. Alalu toward him came running. His son by marriage he powerfully embraced. Welcome to the different planet, Alalu to Ei said. Now this is the account of how Indrid and Earth was established. How the count of 7 days was begun. The water here. Or fruit punch, I should say. In the silence that Alalu Ei embraced, with tears of joy his eyes were filled. Before him Ei bowed his head, respect for his father by marriage he was showing. In the marshes the heroes were advancing, more donned fistsuits, more towards the dry land were rushing. Keep the chariot afloat, Anzu was commanding. In the waters anchor it, the mud ahead avoiding. Ashore stepped the heroes, Alalu they were bowing. Ashore came Anzu, the last chariot to depart. Before Alalu he bowed, with him Alalu in welcome locked arms. To all who had survived Alalu's words of welcome spoke. To all who had assembled Ei's words command spoke. Here on earth I commander, he was saying, on life or death, on a life or death mission, we have come. In our hands, in the Biru's fate. He looked about for a place for encampment he was searching. Keep up soil, mounds fashioned there, Ei was commanding. An encampment was to set up a camp. To a place not far he was pointing. A reed hut, a bough by Alalu erected. To Anzu the words he directed. To Nibiru words by being delivered. To the king my father, Anu successfully arrived unannounced. Soon the hue of the skies was changing. For brightness the reddish it was turning. A sight never seen before their eyes was unfolding. The sun as a red bull on the horizon was disappearing. Fear seized the hero. Of a calamity afraid they were. Alalu with laughter words of comfort was saying, a setting of the sun it is. The ending of it one day on earth it is marking. For a quick rest lie down. A night of earth is beyond imagining short. Before you expect the sun will an appearance make. On earth it will be morning. Sorry, it was just hilarious. Before expecting darkness came, the heavens from earth are separated. Lightings the darkness pierced, rains the thunders followed. By winds were they waters blown, storm of the alien god they were. In the chariots the heroes toppled down, in the chariots the heroes huddled. Resting to them did not come, they were greatly agitated. With quickening hearts the sun's return they awaited. Smiling when its rays appeared, they were joyful and back clapping. And it was evening and it was morning, the first day on earth it was. By daybreak, Ei and the ongoings considered to separate waters from waters he was giving. He told them to make dams, basically, in the rivers, I think. Ngor, he made the sweet waters a master, drinking waters to provide. To the snake pond with the Lulu he went, its sweet waters to consider. Evil serpents in the pond were swimming, so did Ngor to Ei say. The marshland Ei then contemplated the abundance of rainwaters he weighed. In the Lulu he placed in charge of the marshland to mark the thickest of the reeds. Him he directed. Enki in charge of the ditch and the dike he placed a boundary of the marshes to fashion. For the waters that from the heaven rain a gathering place to make. See, they gathered rainwater. That's very interesting. Thus were the waters below, the waters above separated. Marsh waters from sweet waters asunder were set. And it was evening, and it was morning.